I'm 31 and I'm not married, and somehow everybody is stressed about it than I am. Last year, I went to a gynecologist and she literally tells me to go home and have a baby. It was so insane. I'd gone there for my premenstrual pain because it was unbearable, and I just wanted her to like give me something so that it's bearable for me. And she looks at my file and she sees I'm 30 years old, and she's not even listening to me why I've come there. And she's like, "Are you engaged?" I said, "No, I'm not." "Well, you should go home and you should tell your parents to get you married, and you should have a child as soon as possible." And I'm looking at her like this. And I'm thinking to myself, is finding a guy as easy as like going to a grocery store and find a guy next to tomatoes and then go home with him and make a baby? Because that is how absurd she sounded. And I didn't expect it from a professional. It made me so angry that my mom is calling me, "Hey, how was the visit?" And I'm like, is she crazy? Am I supposed to find a guy in a grocery store? And my mom is not understanding like what I'm saying. And then I had to explain it to her later on what I meant. But yeah, I mean, that was a pretty weird experience. And it just made me uncomfortable for many, many days. Okay, the next thing, the aunties at any family gathering. Every time they look at me, it's like, you're next. I swear to God, I can see it in their eyes. And it just made me so anxious that I've started to avoid every family occasion, like any family occasion, because the way they look at me, it's like, you're next. We'll find you a guy. I have some aunties like who are so enthusiastic about my marriage and and finding me a guy, and I'm like, wow, the confidence that you have in thinking that you will find me a guy. Like you don't even know what is it that I'm seeking from my life. And let that aside, none of you is happy with your own marriage. But the enthusiasm with which they want to find me a guy, I wish they could, you know, use that enthusiasm and create something meaningful in their own life. And then I just, I'm by myself, I'm scrolling on the internet, and I want to chill for a while. And the videos that come up, how if you're a woman and not married by 30s, you're a low value woman. And I'm like, fuck all of you. Like, is there a place where a 30-year-old single woman can escape? Because sometimes I feel like there's none. Like, nobody will let you be. Not the internet, not the people around you, and not the professionals. And I think to myself, is it so bad to be a single woman in your 30s? Because it shouldn't be bad at all. Because we are human beings. Everybody's story, every woman's story is not going to be the same. It's not like everybody is going to get married at one point, let's say at 20, have the child at 21, have the second child at 22. We are not supposed to live linear in a linear like line. That's not how we are supposed to be. We are supposed to live our own lives, as individuals. And that is what is annoying to me at times. And I've tried to analyze it a little bit, and what I've come to realize that the world looks at a woman and thinks that it's her duty to get married, to have children. So the world looks at a woman as someone who is supposed to carry this duty on her shoulders, that she must get married and she must have children. While as women, as individuals, especially if you're educated, making your own money, as a human being, you're seeking fulfillment. And how the world sees you is not how you look at yourself. But I've realized that women seeking fulfillment is such a foreign concept, even in this day and age. Even like on the internet, I mean, I live in the East. I used to think that people in West are so progressive, but I look at the internet and even like this is a constant debate. Woman seeking her own fulfillment in a way that fits the best to her is still is still not accepted by the world. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Why is that? And I understand I'm not saying that every woman does not want to marry. There are different categories of women, but all the friends around me, what I know for sure is that they are seeking fulfillment. And for some of them, it comes through marriage, and for some of them, it comes from not getting married. And then there is a category of women, if they find the right partner, they would be very happy to get married. And if they don't, they would be very happy to be single. And I fall in that category. And isn't that life, having that uncertainty? If you remove the woman angle, isn't that life to have that uncertainty? And it's fine that God is taking us through our own journeys and we must not fret about it. I know a friend of mine who wanted to like really get married, last year, and she was talking to her family and convincing her family, and the family didn't want her to marry the guy, but finally they were convinced, and they also had an engagement, and everything was fine. But then she saw the guy cheating on her. She caught the guy in a restaurant getting cozy with another girl. Now she was 30 years old. What was she supposed to do? Kill herself because she's 30 and not married? She had to start over. She had to literally start over. And this is a woman who really wanted to get married. And that's my point. Life happens. It's not linear. It's not like logical. By this time, this should happen. By that time, that should happen. And I think it's high point that we must have acceptance of that. And if you're a woman in your 30s and let's say you really wanted to get married, but something happened along the way, I want to tell you it's fine. I think what matters is intention. If you're seeking marriage, it will happen to you. You will find a person, but you will find it in your own time, in your own journey. If you don't want to get married, then you are clear about the intention. The world should not pressurize you. And you should not let the world make you feel bad about it. Go live your life. Go seek that fulfillment. Go find that power in God, because God did not make you. God did not put your value for other people to judge you. You are equal in God's eyes, no matter if you're married or not.